When you think of hippos, you probably picture big, bellowing animals splashing around in rivers. But did you know there's a smaller, shyer version of these giant creatures? Baby pygmy hippos, to be exact, are some of the cutest and most underrated animals on the planet. They're tiny versions of their larger cousins, and their life journey is just as fascinating. In 2024, baby pygmy hippos like Moo Deng and haggis have taken the world by storm, so if you have always wanted to know more about baby pygmy, this video is the perfect chance to learn more about baby pygmy hippos, from their early days in the wild to the adult hippos they'll eventually grow into. Pygmy hippos are a smaller, more reclusive relative of the common hippo. Native to the tropical forests and swamps of West Africa, they weigh only about 400 to 600 pounds when fully grown, compared to the 4,000-pound common hippos you probably associate with hippos. Despite their size, baby pygmy hippos are super cute and tiny when they're born. When a baby pygmy hippo is born, it typically weighs around 10 to 14 pounds. To put that in perspective, that's about the size of a big dog, which is pretty wild when you think about how big they'll eventually grow. But those first few months, they depend entirely on their mothers. Unlike the large, social hippos you might be familiar with, baby pygmy hippos aren't born into big herds. They start their lives with just their mum, and that bond is super important for their survival. From the moment they're born, baby pygmy hippos are already a little different from their larger cousins. For one, they're born on land, not in water. Their mothers give birth in secluded spots in dense forests, away from potential predators. This is especially important because, despite their cuteness, baby pygmy hippos are incredibly vulnerable in their early days. For the first few months, baby pygmy hippos stay very close to their mothers. They nurse regularly, as their tiny bodies need a lot of energy to grow. This nursing period is crucial since the young hippo doesn't start eating solid food right away. While their mothers protect them from predators, the babies are learning how to navigate the world around them. They'll start to explore slowly, mostly sticking close to their mothers and their secure resting places, like mud banks or shaded spots near water. As the baby hippo grows, it starts to gain some new skills that will be essential for its survival as an adult. One of the first things a baby pygmy hippo learns is how to swim and move in water. Though they're born on land, pygmy hippos are semi-aquatic animals, just like their bigger relatives. They will spend a lot of time in the water, so it's important for the baby to get comfortable in it early on. Baby pygmy hippos have smooth, shiny skin that glistens, partly due to a unique secretion often called blood sweat, which protects them from the sun and keeps their skin hydrated. Their stubby legs and round, barrel-shaped bodies give them an irresistibly cute appearance, while their wide eyes and tiny, twitching ears make them look curious and alert. This natural combination of charm and practicality makes them perfectly adapted to their environment, whether they're waddling on land or paddling through water. Around the age of 2 to 3 months, baby pygmy hippos begin to take their first tentative swims. At first, they're not as graceful in the water as their parents, but with practice, they become quite good at it. Their strong, stocky bodies are built for both land and water, making them excellent swimmers even as they continue to develop. In addition to learning how to navigate in the water, the baby hippo starts to eat solid food as it grows. While the baby still nurses for several months, it also begins to graze on grass, leaves, fruits, and other plant material found in the forests. At first, this is mostly exploration, tasting and nibbling on whatever looks good. But as the baby grows, it starts to forage more independently, becoming more self-sufficient. By the time it's around 6 months old, it can spend time away from its mother for short periods, though they still stay close. As baby pygmy hippos grow into their teenage years, around 1 to 2 years old, they become more independent. They're still very much dependent on their mothers for protection and guidance, but they start venturing out a little more on their own. At this age, their bodies are beginning to take shape, though they're still far from the full-grown, adult hippos they'll eventually become. During this phase, the mother and baby pair will typically stay in the same general area. The baby pygmy hippo learns how to use its scent glands to mark territory, which is an important skill it will carry into adulthood. The scent helps the mother communicate her presence and boundaries to others in the dense forest. They are becoming more territorial, though they're not as aggressive as common hippos. The mother may also continue to protect the young hippo from other animals or threats, especially when the baby is still learning how to defend itself in the wild. Around the age of 5, a pygmy hippo has reached full maturity. While they're still smaller than common hippos, they're officially considered adults at this point. They've learned most of the skills they need to survive on their own: how to forage for food, navigate their forest home, swim, and protect themselves. At this stage, they are ready to establish their own territories and start looking for mates, particularly the males. However, despite reaching adulthood, pygmy hippos are still relatively solitary. They don't live in big groups like common hippos. Instead, they tend to lead a much quieter life, with males typically becoming more territorial. They use their scent glands and vocalizations to communicate with other hippos, but they don't engage in constant socializing. This solitary nature makes them harder to spot in the wild, which is one reason why they remain so elusive and mysterious. Interestingly, though they're solitary as adults, baby pygmy hippos do tend to remain with their mothers for the first 2 to 3 years of their lives. This gives them ample time to develop the physical and social skills they need to thrive once they go off on their own. The bond between mother and baby is incredibly strong, and it's the mother's role to teach her young one the ways of the world, how to find food, how to swim, and how to stay safe in a habitat filled with predators. Now, what's really cool about baby pygmy hippos, and what sets them apart from other baby animals, is how well adapted they are for both land and water life right from the start. Though they're born on land, their bodies are designed for a semi-aquatic lifestyle. They have thick skin that protects them from the sun when they're on land, and their short legs are great for wading and swimming in shallow water. When they're born, baby pygmy hippos are surprisingly good swimmers, though they don't have the same natural buoyancy as adult hippos. Baby hippos are often seen floating in the water alongside their mothers, using their tiny legs to paddle and explore their aquatic surroundings. It's adorable, but it also shows how quickly they adapt to their environment. Another fascinating thing about baby pygmy hippos is their diet. Unlike common hippos, who are mostly grazers, pygmy hippos are opportunistic feeders. They have a more varied diet, which includes a lot of fruits, leaves, and even tree bark. This makes them great foragers, as they'll look for whatever is available in their environment. While baby pygmy hippos are still nursing during the early months, they quickly transition to solid foods and begin exploring different tastes as they mature. Unfortunately, pygmy hippos face some serious challenges. They are classified as endangered, with fewer than 3,000 left in the wild due to habitat loss, deforestation, and poaching. As their natural habitats in West Africa are destroyed for farming and urban development, pygmy hippos have fewer places to roam and fewer resources to survive. This is especially difficult for baby pygmy hippos, who rely on a stable environment to grow and thrive. Conservation efforts are underway to protect these incredible animals, but they still face many hurdles. Zoos around the world have breeding programs that help maintain genetic diversity, and organizations like the World Wildlife Fund are working to protect pygmy hippo habitats and prevent illegal hunting. These efforts are vital to ensuring that future generations of pygmy hippos, babies included, have a chance to survive and thrive. Baby pygmy hippos are some of the most fascinating animals on Earth. From their birth in the dense forests of West Africa to their eventual journey toward adulthood, they undergo incredible transformations. They learn how to swim, forage, and mark their territory, all while forming a close bond with their mothers. Though they grow into quiet, solitary adults, their early life is filled with adventure, curiosity, and a special connection to the natural world. So next time you hear about hippos, don't forget to think about their pint-sized cousins. Pygmy hippos may not be as famous as their larger relatives, but their baby steps, literally, are just as worth admiring. They're not just cute, they're a reminder of the fragile beauty of nature and the importance of protecting these unique creatures.